What's going on, guys? We're going to take a look at Roku. So Roku absolutely obliterated on earnings, down 27% in the after hour session. So we currently closed the day, which is 7/28, July the 28th. We closed at $85.17. We are currently trading at $63.77. I'm telling people in my Discord constantly, kind of stay away from those high, not necessarily speculation, but those high flyers from 2020, right? COVID is not over. Obviously, people are still getting sick. I was just actually sick about a month ago. But what I'm saying is the COVID type stay at home play is done, okay? The strong will survive. What does that mean? Good companies are going to rise. Look at what Apple did after hours. Microsoft, what they did on earnings. Amazon absolutely exploding. Tesla is having, great move off the bottom here. But then you still have stocks like Roku down 27% in the after hour session. So what I did here is I marked out a trend line down here, this white line at $60.53 or 58 cents. I'm going to pull up the daily time frame. What this red nasty bar is the 1 hour time frame. So if we kind of go over and look at the daily and we see exactly where we stand here, okay? So that $60.69 is down here. So the current stock price is here. As you can see on Roku, if I kind of zoom out a little bit on the daily time frame here, okay? Obviously, we know we're in a bear market. We were in a bear market. We're down, 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 down. I can actually take these old lines off here. Okay, let me take these old lines off here. Constant downwards pressure to where we get right here about April. Okay, so mid-April, from April into May, June, July, stock pretty much has done nothing. Goes up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. Looks like it was starting to create a little bit of a floor, but obviously this has been broken. Okay, if we kind of take the lows, that $72.20 was broken. I would expect in the coming months for Roku to at least maybe attempt or trickle down somewhere into the $40-$30 range. Okay, now that's still about 20 points away. Not saying that it's going to go there this week, not saying it's going there tomorrow, I'm not saying it's going there next week, but what I'm saying is now that we've broken through this sideways consolidation here, if something drastically does not change to where it gets sucked back up and gets back over $72.63, the longer it spends below $72.63, the higher of probability that it floats down to somewhere of a price that has a 3, a 4, or a 2 in front of it. Okay, so how do you play this? Anytime a stock gets obliterated on earnings, what you do is you kind of wait for the bounce. You take the lows of $60.69, you let it bounce, you let it consolidate, you do whatever. As soon as we lose the earnings lows, so that price is $60.69, we go ahead and get short, and we kind of just sit short. Okay, we sit short. And if it goes back above our entry and closes over our entry on a daily candle close, we just kind of get out. But as long as we break those earnings lows and we kind of just hold it, normally they don't move as fast. You might get a little bit of a bounce tomorrow into next week. But whenever we do start to lose that $60.69 is when you can see more downward pressure on Roku. And that's when I would want to get short. As far as anyone out there kind of looking for some sort of reversal, saying, now is a time to buy Roku, I would kind of hang tight. The moment that you think that $60 is a buy on Roku, considering that we were trading at $490 at its peak and currently down 80, almost probably 90% on the stock. If you think this is a good area of opportunity to get in and get long, the stock market gods will rudely correct you because they will send Roku down to 26. You get in at $60. Next thing you know, 2 or 3 months later, Roku's trading at $26, and you're kind of wondering, what the hell happened? So definitely, if we were going to look to get long on Roku, I really don't feel comfortable long on Roku until it starts to clear out a lot of these levels of supply. It would need to close over $99, $100. I mean, it would need to prove to me that it can get back over $100. If we do put in a new low underneath these earnings lows here, I would kind of let it build the floor here. There would be an opportunity for a shorter term trade using $27 to $30 as your absolute stop. Kind of use that floor as your support. Kind of get long closer to this zone here and ride it back into this support or this supply zone here and kind of take profits along the way. But as far as anything kind of long term, something drastically is going to need to turn around with the streaming services stocks. I would definitely look to Netflix to see what Netflix is doing tomorrow, as well as the other streaming services. So I'm going to make another separate video on a stock, Fubu, that was very, very popular during the pandemic as well. Some people think that it's very, undervalued and it's a good deal at $2. Stocks don't end up on the OTC penny. They don't become penny stocks on the OTC just because, they IPO there, or, they SPAC there. They get put there. So, before you start thinking that, something is a good buy down here just because it's down 90%, doesn't necessarily mean that that stock is ever going to make it out of the mud. Just kind of saying what I'm saying. Doesn't mean that Roku is going bankrupt. Doesn't mean that Roku is not going to be around. I'm just saying that, the market could be pricing it somewhere between a price point of $25 and around $75. Okay. And it can stay between that range for its entirety of its lifetime. Now, is that possible that that's complete BS and that the stock is trading at 120, 150 in a year from now? Of course. But what I'm saying is the way that it's looking here, it looks like it's going to be in a range for a very, very long time. 25 being the floor and somewhere around $85, $90 being the ceiling. Kind of keep that in mind. Just giving you guys my kind of heads up on that. If you guys like this kind of technical analysis video and you guys want ideas on stocks that you guys can actively trade on a day in and day out basis, join my Discord. That link is down in the description box below. And I will see you guys all in the next video.